Father, we thank you so much for empowering us by your Holy Spirit. Lord, we choose to have life. Lord, we choose to be everything that you've called us to be. Lord, we choose to let go of our past and not let our circumstances define us, oh God, but allow your word to shape our lives. Lord, cause us to trust in the truth of your word. Cause us to lean and rest in you, knowing that, Lord, indeed you have a great plan for us, and no eye has seen, neither has any ear heard, and neither has it, become known to anyone, Lord, the great plans that you have for us. Therefore, Lord, despite what we may have been through, despite the hardships, Lord, cause us to be able to see beyond and see that of a truth. After the darkness, comes the dawn. And Heavenly Father, this we ask in Christ Jesus' name with thanksgiving.
And let the church say amen.
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 Amen. Amen.
Why were you scared? Were you scared to say amen?
Amen.
Or something like that. Let's get into the newspapers for this morning. And the first story is coming from the Mirror. And planning the words of your gravestone is rather the chilling headline on the front of the Daily Mirror, as it reports details of a stalking case in which TV presenter Christine Lampard gave evidence of being targeted over a 3-year period. The man accused of sending that threat in a tweet is now facing a jail sentence as he admitted the charge, albeit disputing some of the details. Let's move on to the Daily Telegraph. And Mrs. Lampard's stalking case also features on the front page of the Daily Telegraph, but the paper leads on a report that supermarkets could be banned from selling sweets and chocolates next to the checkouts as part of government's plan to tackle obesity. The paper also focuses on what it calls the chaos caused by Visa's payment network disruptions, which left many unable to use their cards. Moving on, the same chaos is the subject of the front page of the headline on the Daily Express, which says millions of Britons were left unable to use their credit card and debit cards on Friday. Again, Christine Lampard is the main front page picture as the paper highlights her court statement that she had been left scared to go out. Moving on, Visa's problems lead the front page of The Guardian. The paper also says new light has been shed on the worst art crime in history, the 1969 theft of Caravaggio's Nativity with St. Francis and St. Lawrence. Real life heroics from TV star Benedict Cumberbatch are highlighted on the front page of The Sun, and the Sherlock Holmes actor reportedly jumped out of a car to come to the aid of a cyclist who was being attacked by 4 muggers. The paper headline has some fun combining the words Sherlock and Sherlock. It's interesting there how newspapers will always make a serious matter very, very fun. The Daily Mail leads on the criticism of cosmetics chain Lush over its shop window display that drew attention to the so-called UK spy cop scandal. The Advertising Standards Authority received more than 30 complaints about the campaign, which says it is highlighting the ongoing undercover policing scandal, which officers have infiltrated the lives, homes and beds of activists. Let's move on to the Eye. A world trade war has started, according to the Eye Weekend. The paper says the UK's motor industry fears it will be a target for sanctions from the US and President Donald Trump. Mobile phone apps available on Google Play Store are being used by men to spy on their partners, according to the Times. The paper says tracking apps can be bought online before being installed on people's phone without them knowing. That's creepy. The Financial Times Weekend says that those in the UK earning more than £150,000 paid £54.3 billion in last year's tax year, 9% rise on the previous 12 months. The paper also notes that financial markets in Spain and Italy have stabilized after both countries appointed new leaders. leaders. So let's see, will this be the final story? Yes, it is. The front page of the Daily Star features an interview with two of the contestants on the upcoming series of Love Island. Continuing its TV theme, the paper says Google Box star George Gibby has been found guilty of assaulting a former girlfriend. So those are the headlines from the UK newspapers this morning. So if you're a fan, just pick one from your favorite grocery shop or any of the stores and read the details of the newspapers. Anyone standing out for you this morning?
The visa story.
Did you try making any payments?
No, a friend of mine actually did, okay. And he was very confused because he was certain he had money in his bank account.
And what it's like,
you know, I read it.
Can go to, like, was it coming up as
declined?
Maybe okay. Oh.
I read a tweet. Somebody posted a tweet that they felt so depressed when they went into Primark and their shopping declined, but later on they realized, okay, it was a worldwide issue. Was it a case of them not having money? That would be very embarrassing. It will, yes.
You know, it will be very well. You've shopped confidently, you've gone to the
because it's payday. You know, so people expected to. You know, people.
I'm sure the first person they will call will be their company accountant or something.
Did you actually pay me today?
Absolutely. Hey, but thanks very much for tuning in. This is ABN Radio and it's Gospel Connect. Every Saturday morning between 8 and 10, we bring you some amazing gospel songs, inspiration, a lot of great discussions that centers around people doing amazing stuff by way of the music industry and the church life and everything that you want to know about, you know, the gospel. We actually bring it to you on Gospel Connect right here on the ABN Radio. Still reminding you that Sky TV channel 195 and Virgin 842 brings you the very best when it comes to programming. I mean, ABN TV has been voted UK's favorite black broadcaster 3 times in a row. So that's an amazing feat. So make sure you are tuning this. We have also been nominated for another award, African Pride Award, which is happening this evening. So if you have already voted, thank you very much for voting for us. And congratulations also to Efwa Adum, our host for the ABN Breakfast Show, who has been nominated as the Diasporan Rising Star.
Yeah.
For good.
And I think she's also nominated award. For a Guba Award as well.
So Guba, yes, that's the Guba Award, and she's been nominated for African Pride Award as well. So hopefully,
let's go out and vote for her. She's incredible.
Fingers crossed. You know, we bring all the awards home tonight, but the Guba is not tonight anyway. Guba is sometime later in the month. Right. So let's do this song. It says More of You. You want to tell us about it?
Yes, this is a brand new artist, and her album literally dropped this week. I've been listening to it all week, and it's such a blessing. It's such an anointed body of work, and I'm absolutely certain it's going to bless every person listening. Her name is Kome Edu, and the track is More of You.
More of You. Earlier on, you heard Cheko Ankra with More Than Enough and Koda with Covenant. Now, here is Kome.
We play your genre of music from contemporary gospel, high life, hip life, Afropop, Afrobeats on London's premier Afropolitan station.
The more I seek you, the more I find you, the more I love you, the more you love me. The more I love you, the more you love me, the more I yearn for you, the more
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife. Save your life.
Jesus, the more I seek you, the more I find you, the more I love you, the more you love me,
It's that time of the year for Integrity Conference 2018, Revive Us Again, hosted by Pastor Kingsley Appiaje, with guest speakers Pastor Eastwood Anaba, Pastor Francis Sapon, Reverend Celia Appiaje Collins, and Reverend David Shoshana on Wednesday the 30th of May to Sunday the 3rd of June at Oasis House, Peel Road, Croydon. Registration is free. Visit tbcoasishouse.com. See you there.
.com solicitors, solve all your problem. Your legal partner established in 2004. 14 years in the making. UK #1.
Professional negligence. Are you unhappy with your barrister, solicitor, accountant, surveyor, or other professionals? .com solicitors have a wide experience in this area of law. .com solicitors have many successful and notable cases. Please contact .com solicitors on 0208 880 9000 or visit our website on
ABN Radio, home of Afrobeats.
Lover of my soul, I couldn't help but write you something. When I think about you and how much you mean to me, I come up with this simple equation, you know, that none plus you equals me. That's right, that's what you are to me. Like the sun rays kiss the sky, like the birds have wings to fly, as easy as ABC, like counting from 1 to 3. None plus you just equals me. In its pure simplicity, yeah. You and you add up to me. Wonderfully made, nothing's out of place. I can only say, just you just equals me. All of you and none of me. None plus you just equals me. You are my everything, my everything. You're my only reality. It's in you that I find me. My very existence, I survive in your presence. You've captured my heart from the start. If I multiply you and you, it just makes a better me. If I subtract you from myself, it only leaves me empty. 'Cause without you, I am nothing. None plus you just equals me. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. You and none of you me. Mean the world to me. You and you just equals me. You are my everything I am. My everything I am is you. None plus you just equals me. All of you and none of me. You and none of me. None plus you just equals me. You are my everything, my everything.
Didn't know my microphone was active there. Tried to just make sure that I'm all set to go, so that I can talk confidently. But hey, you're still tuning into Gospel Connect right here on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station. And this morning, I told you when I was signing on that we will be talking a lot about the Africa Gospel Music and Media Awards, which is happening tonight at the East London Arts and Music Academy. Or is it Arts and Music Auditorium, but the 45 Maltings Close, Bromley Bible, London E3 3TA. So let's find out from Uncle Charles whether the tickets are finished, because some people are looking for tickets and can't find none. Uncle, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Well, you did say, I mean, I wouldn't be making this up. You did say last week that, listen, you need to go get your tickets. Don't wait till the day because it's going to run out. And I'm pretty sure that's what is happening, hasn't it?
Well, it has. And my apologies to Akosua because she's been chasing after some VIP tickets all week. And
I'm literally just messaging about it right now.
I know. It's just a bit of a nightmare at the moment. But I suppose it's kind of a good nightmare to have in a way. I mean, not for Akosua, but for us, yes. It's quite good to go into an event knowing that, tickets have been bought. And we say this all the time. Danny, we said it last year.
Absolutely, we did.
Sometimes people think it's, you're trying to hype the event. But, that's not what it is. Because we're such that people wait till the very last minute. And, at the moment, VIPs are all gone. Standard tickets, there's a likelihood, there's a likelihood we might stop selling them. But we can't guarantee there'll be single standard tickets at the door. I just can't guarantee that the rate at which we looked at the numbers. Tickets that were sold yesterday, it was like what we have sold all week.
Wow.
Okay.
Last minute mad rush.
But I'm sure that the team has exactly how many people the auditorium can fit. So the doors should be just about closing now. If you haven't gotten one, you should head to the website straight away. Now let's quickly look at the website. You can buy tickets from the website. And is there any hotline? Is there any hotline people can call?
To be honest with you, we don't take phone orders.
Phone orders, okay.
Yes, because we've had talking about phone orders. It sounds like a Chinese way, isn't it? But yeah, because in the past we've had a couple of issues with people calling on the phone to try and get tickets, and it's a bit awkward. We've had situations where if we were like about 2-3 weeks away from the event, people sometimes sort of book them and then they make a payment and then we can then send it out to them. But we've closed that.
Right.
So it's strictly, it's either you take a chance. I would not advise that you take a chance and come. So
I was there last year. If those who took chances, some of them had to just stand outside over the whole of the event.
You were there, yeah.
I was, yeah.
That was how bad it was, And even some nominees who came late couldn't even get in, if you remember.
Absolutely, yeah, that's true.
So we don't want a repeat of that. We want people who are coming to make sure that they have their tickets before they actually come to the venue. So thank you guys for helping to push and support.
Oh well, it's African gospel, African media, and we need to do what we need to do because I always say this, that the other genres and the other cultures that do the same thing that we do, they have the platform already. The systems are set and it's just easy to do things, but we have to do a lot extra. So of course we need to do it. But let's run us through the evening. I know that Samuel Akosua is in town. We hopefully will speak to him. I know that Joe Metal is in.
Joe's been in town. I think he was on first show earlier on in the week.
Yes,
he's been in town since I think Monday. If I'm not mistaken. So he's been around longest. Isabella was in America. She came back 2 days ago just purposely for this because she was like on a little mini tour. Diana was in Ghana. She came back yesterday so she can be here. Called Out Music, well, he's in the UK. He's all prepped for it. Nikki Lauye actually came in last night.
Right. Well, we just played her. We played a song just before.
Not like Non Plus You.
Non Plus You, actually.
So she came in, she flew in last night. That was quite unexpected. I mean, the thing is, she's going to be awarded a special award tonight, the community award. I mean, I don't know if you were following what was going on in Libya when West Africans were being
yes. I remember that story.
Kind of spearheaded a project to actually repatriate, fellow Nigerians back in January. That was a big feat, getting all of that together. So, for that, because what we try to do is to encourage musicians not to be one-dimensional, so to be actively involved in doing, good works. If I can,
that's the actual work of the ministry, isn't it?
That's the actual work of ministry. The music is good, but sometimes, we're encouraging musicians to get involved in the community, in charity, doing other things as well. So, they're all-rounded, because we believe that these things add value to an artist. Really makes them all-rounded. So that's why we have awards like the Community Awards, Leadership Awards, and today Nikki will be receiving one of them. So I wasn't expecting her, and the night before she just sent me a message to her, Charles, I'm on my way to London, flying by Virgin, I'll be there by tomorrow evening. The funny thing is, he was on the same flight with Simon Poso, and they didn't even know.
But most of the time, I know they do move together.
Yeah, but I think because hers was just boom, just like that.
She just made a decision, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And Tim Oborochi as well. I don't know if you know.
Tim, I know Tim. Tim from what's the group's name? Tehila Crew. Yeah, Tim. Is he here with the wife? And actually yesterday was his 40th birthday.
I saw them, living it up somewhere in London, somewhere. So those guys are enjoying. I mean,
man, it's gonna be lit tonight.
Yeah, perfectly for that. Mahalia Buchanan will also be there. Mahalia from Joyous Celebration.
Yeah, Mahalia, yes. I think she was at Trinity Baptist last Sunday or something like that. She's been in town for a while, right? So,
and we'll also the night. Chevelle Franklin will also be there tonight.
Absolutely, Chevelle Franklin will be there. So it promises to be an extraordinary night.
Fantastic night. I mean, we set up on Thursday, so we're all set up already.
So what is the latest one should get there, and so that you can guarantee yourself an entrance?
If you're part of well, if you have I'm not saying part. If you have a VIP ticket, then you can't afford to be there later than I would say 5:15.
Right.
Because we start the VIP reception, which is the VIP ticket holders get some drinks and little bites here and there whilst they're doing interviews, radio interviews, networking, and it's very important that in the industry people network. You never know who your next producer might be.
Yeah.
You never know who the next connection to the next whatever might be. So we advise that people get there very early. If you have standard tickets as well, we aim to kick off 6 p.m. sharp. In fact, we're not going to muck about. And then last year we didn't hang about at all. We want people to be there nice and early. If you have a standard ticket, try and get there by 5:45. You're there. Be seated, and then the night is going to kick off with some amazing praise and worship, and then
will you let us in on those leading praise and worship for this year?
Well, shall we spring a surprise on you? But I tell you, it's going to be good.
Right, great.
So Michael Pounds is definitely going to be one of them.
Awesome.
And we will spring a surprise on you.
Agma and surprises. We definitely know it will be a good one. Right. So
and somewhere during the administration as well, a young lady is doing fantastically well. I would also feature on one of the administrations as well. So we'll throw some little.
Awesome. And let's talk about travel quickly. I know that the closest train station is the Bromley by Bow one, but if someone is driving, are there any parking? Because those are some of the things people will be thinking about.
If you're driving opposite the venue is a car wash, and there's a big yard it's directly opposite. On 12, it's called 12 Trees Crescent.
Right.
Yeah. So as soon as you enter into 12 Trees Crescent, from the A12, there's a traffic light there. Right on at the junction is the car wash, and there's a big yard in the car wash, so that's where we're using. But obviously, parking, like everywhere else, is limited. So
is it paid parking?
Well, we have bought some spaces.
Okay.
When we run out of those spaces, then people will be asked to pay.
All right. Okay.
So, if you want the free spaces, then get there on time. That's all we can say.
Get there on time if you want some free parking space. Well, Uncle Charles, we look forward to an incredible night tonight, and we are trusting God that He will give us another. What's the word? Akosua, lend me some words.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that we are expecting God to give us another lift, maybe.
Okay.
Yes, another lift as far as African gospel music is concerned. It's going to be great. Hopefully, we'll be speaking to maybe Sammy or Joe Metal, Nikki Lau, any of them, or even all of them. Just stick around here on Gospel Connect. Uncle Charles, it's been amazing, and thank you very much.
And we look forward to seeing you. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, you talked about the state, how public transport as well, is directly opposite Bromley Bible Station on the district line. And just further down the road is Devon's Road on the Docklands Light Rail as well. That's also walk.
Right. Okay. So stay. I will be sharing the details as the program goes along right here on ABN Radio. Uncle Charles, thanks very much for your time.
Thanks.
And we look forward to speaking to you maybe next week and doing a review.
Yeah, a bit of a postmortem.
Awesome. All right. Okay. God bless. This is Joe Metal Bononi.
No one else but you. I am who I am because of you. If it had not been for you, tell me where would I be? I was lost and sinking deep in sin. But you reach out your hand and rescued me. No one else can do the things you do. Oh God, there's no one else but you. So I say this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Luigi McLean.
Never thought that you could love someone like me. To give up your life for me, yeah. You even go on and call me your very own. So grateful for your love, your mercy and grace. No one can do the things you do for me. But you never thought that you could love someone like me. Give up your life for me, yeah. You even go on and call me your very own. So grateful for your love, your mercy and grace. No one can do the things you do for me. But you said, no trouble, no one else but you. Moko Benny Tam
Wow, Joe Metal. I don't even know what to say. Wow. He. So now Joe won the that's Vodafone Ghana Music Awards Artist of the Year, and he stalled for a while, and then boom, this dropped.
Yeah.
Such an amazing, awesome songwriter.
I'm actually really looking forward to seeing him tonight because I haven't
seen him live.
I've never seen him. I know. I'm probably the only Guardian who hasn't seen Joe Metal live. So, but I'm
possibly the only African.
Oh yikes!
Yes, the only African who hasn't seen him.
But really
live.
looking forward to it tonight.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go out, check his YouTube music videos, some incredible ministrations he's got there. Just amazing. But the news is coming up, and then we have the awesome, ever beautiful Adeza joining us in the studio. She's shaking her head.
One of the UK's #1 publicists. Yeah, so we've got her right here in the studio to talk about everything branding and artist management.
She's going to tell us everything that you need to know.
For free!
For free? You have to pay for it too.
Well, they're going to listen to us on air, so they'll get all that information for free.
All right, so the one she gives will be a bit. I'm just joking. The news is coming up here on ABN Radio Gospel Connect, and we will be right back.
Sky News Centre at 9. People are being urged to keep any evidence of extra expenses they've incurred as a result of the visa problems so they can claim the money back. The consumer group Which says banks need to make sure no one is left out of pocket. Millions of customers across the UK and Europe were unable to use their cards yesterday, but Visa insists everything is now back to normal. This man wasn't happy after he couldn't pay for his shopping.
The card wasn't actually working. Turns out there's a problem with Visa across the world. Hurry up, Visa, and sort it out and save everyone else the embarrassment of that. Sorry, I'm going to have to leave these items and the machine shouting card declined.
A 20-year-old woman has died after a car ploughed into a group of pedestrians pedestrians in Manchester. 6 others were injured in the collision in Trafford Park on Thursday. 2 people are in custody. Donald Trump says he's optimistic about talks with Kim Jong-un after announcing an historic summit with North Korean leader is back on. The US president's confirmed he'll meet him in Singapore later this month. The EU has drawn up a 10-page list of American goods it could target with tariffs. It's in response to Mr. Trump's decision to impose extra charges on steel and aluminium from Europe, Canada and Mexico. In sport, England's cricketers are in a strong position to bat Pakistan out of the second test going into day 2 at Headingley. The hosts trail by just 68 runs and will resume on 106 for 2 in their first innings. Stuart Broad took 3 wickets as Pakistan were bowled out for 174. He says they're well placed to have another good day.
I think it'll be about building a really nice platform and naturally we've got the players that will sort of expand the scoreboard later on if given the opportunity against tired bowlers.
In football, England will hope to build some momentum in the first of 2 World Cup warm-up games later. They face Nigeria at Wembley. That's the latest. I'm Tanya Snuggs.
Life wasted. Consider the heart of the family ripped apart. Consider the potential never realised. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred or respect. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife and save a life. Quentin Slowly, supporting all family and young people.
Mixpiration with Bright every Sunday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. is just fun. It's exciting. It's a mix of contemporary R&B and pop gospel music right here on ABN Radio. Enjoy great tunes every Sunday evening with Bright on Mixpiration. A blend of great inspiring songs just for your Sunday evening relaxation. Tune in from 6 to 8 p.m. This and every Sunday. They're on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station. Eastwood Anaba Ministries presents Partners Impartation Retreat London, Saturday, 2nd June 2018, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Hilton London Paddington, 146 Pride Street, London, W21EE. Speaker is Reverend Eastwood Anaba. Call 07958 758959 to register or visit eastwoodanaba.com. It's the Partners Impartation Retreat with Reverend Eastwood Anaba. Don't miss it. What do you like for breakfast?
Well, it depends what mood I'm in. If I'm happy, I like a little bit of porridge with banana because I'm feeling healthy. If I'm in a...
Me, I like a bit of fruit. Nice apples, sliced apples.
I love
banana.
a cinnamon and raisin bagel, some scrambled eggs, and a...
I say nice English breakfast.
Salad, fruit and orange.
I like wholemeal bagel with a bit of cream cheese on it and some bacon and then some avocado. And on the side, I like to have
fried egg with bacon, with baked beans, toast.
I normally take my cocoa. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a typical Ghanaian, so I like my cocoa.
I'm not too sure. I normally don't eat breakfast.
It doesn't matter how you like your breakfast, or you may not like breakfast at all, but you will love the sound of your radio when the breakfast is Afropolitan. Watch out for the new ABN Radio breakfast show with Efuadum. ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Extra cups to fill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil.
No one plays it better on the radio than us. ABN Radio, home of Afrobeats. Listening to the Gospel Connect on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan station.
Woke up this morning, feel so grateful for all he's done for me, yeah. So I say, yeah, yeah. Alpha and Omega, Jehovah, Elohim. Alpha and Omega, Jehovah, Elohim. Let me hear you sing. Alpha and Omega, Jehovah, Elohim. He reigns on high, this is the day. Hey, good. Get down, this is the day. We come to play. Everybody praise the Lord. Everybody praise the King. Everybody praise the King. Praise the name of Jesus. Praise the name of Jesus. Praise the name of Jesus. We will shout, shout, shout. Yes, we will shout. Yes, we will shout. Our God reigns. We will shout, shout, shout. Yes, we will shout. Yes, we will shout. Our God reigns. Yes, we will shout, shout, shout. Yes, we will shout, shout. Yes, we will shout. Yeah. Our God reigns. And we will shout, shout, shout. Yes, we will shout. Yes, we will shout. Our God reigns.
And that is the song that Adeze is calling the 2018 Summer Praise Jam. Well, you introduced that song. You introduced that song now on air, live on air.
Okay, guys, you have just listened to, yes, what I call 2018 Summer Praise Jam, brought to you by Nyashati, London-based Zimbabwean artist, actually, who found his musical love as he was in church, New Wine Church, and has been working on some stuff for a while. This particular single is hot, and it's dropping on the 8th of June, and it's hailing, actually, his new album that's also coming out in July. Watch out for him.
You know what? I just think you need to take this seat. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. I need to leave the program for you and Akosua to do the hosting. But anyway, we're so excited that you joined us.
We should do a girls takeover.
We should do a girls takeover.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
Well, it's gonna be Mother's Day is past, is it?
Yeah. We don't have to wait for Mother's Day.
Maybe Father's Day. So you can have a break.
Right.
Yeah. That'll be our Father's Day treat to you.
That's good. So far as you send me breakfast at home as well, I think that would be good. It's Gospel Connect here on ABN Radio. Thanks for tuning in. We are streaming live on YouTube. So if you go onto the ABN Radio YouTube page, you just see us live there. I have some incredible women of God joining me this morning. Akosua Jumofoko and
the lovely
Adeze. And what you don't know this afternoon is that you get to see Akosua live at the Agmas. And so watch out for a beautiful lady in her wonderful dress, holding the microphone and interviewing everybody. That's the person. Yeah. So once you see that person, just walk up to her and then tell her that you listen to Gospel Connect. You can give us a call during a conversation, or if you can send it a text, it will be 0788747540. Welcome, Adeze.
Yes, welcome. But today she's here in the capacity as Unbound PR.
She operates in a lot of different capacities.
I know, right?
One moment, you have her as Adeze, the marriage counselor, giving you all the tips that I can't really talk about because it's not bear talk. Another moment, she's giving you how to really break through and everything. Well, it's incredible. But Unbound PR, we'll get to know everything about Unbound PR today.
Unbound PR was actually born out of a desire to see the UK's gospel music artists break through and take more strategic approaches to their music releases. Unbound PR desired to ensure that music artists got as much exposure as possible and branch out to current limiting boxes by exploring the wide range of opportunities available to them. Now, those of you who have followed Adeze will know that she was part of, she was the founder for Vine Juice. Vine Juice was a very, it actually is one of the leading urban Christian media platforms. Within 3 years, Vine Juice grew from a social media and blog platform to having an online radio station and a 12-week TV show on TBN UK, Europe and Africa. She also presented TBN's 36-week coverage of a Big Church Day Out. Her infectious personality and presenting skills have seen her interview some of the biggest names in gospel music, such as Erica and Tina Campbell, otherwise known as Mary Mary, Dietrich Haddon, Andy Mineo, Jonathan McReynolds, Darling Check, Ren Collective, Bethel Music, and more. Apart from music, running her PR consultancy, she also runs a marriage platform called Marriage for Real and has built a combined social media following of 20,000. Good morning, Unbound PR.
Hey, girl.
Should we call you a Daisy or should we call you?
Yeah, let's go with a Daisy.
Daisy. Okay.
That's more personal and real.
Okay. Well, good morning. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Manchester.
From sunny Manchester.
Yes, to come and be with us. Okay, so we know a little bit about Unbound PR, but before we go into Unbound PR, I need to ask that question.
The question.
So everyone knew you as, one half of Vine Juice.
The Juicy Ladies.
Yes, the Juicy Ladies. You guys were everywhere. You guys were on the radio. You guys were on TV. You guys were at concerts. Y'all were literally everywhere.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to, step away from that already established brand and start all over again?
Seems crazy, right?
Yeah.
I literally felt like it was time to move on and do something different. I felt like Vine Juice was a platform or a stepping stone, not my beginning and end.
Understood.
If that makes sense. And I think that a lot of people start something and then they feel like they have to stay no matter what. Whereas I always feel like it's all part of a journey. And I entered into Vine Juice having absolutely zero knowledge about the music industry, let alone gospel music industry. No clue whatsoever. And myself and Lavinia started from scratch and we learned everything from the beginning. And I just found that, wow, I've learned so much. I've gotten so much skills. I've made so many connections, and I could see another route for me going somewhere else. It just felt like it was the end of the road for me with Vine Juice, but not the end of Vine Juice.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So then, brand new chapter. Unbound PR.
It's a new chapter, and you know what's great about it is, like I said, I'm from Manchester, and before Vine Juice came, there was literally nothing. And so a lot of the artists like David B and Nicola and all these people, they were starting to sit back, and nobody new was coming out because they just felt like there was no platform. And so Vine Juice started, and 3 years on now we've got Vine Juice, the Christian media company, and now we have Unbound PR, the music PR agency, and suddenly there's a little bit of some form of infrastructure starting. So I see it as a great thing for the Northwest.
Yeah. So tell us the heart behind Unbound PR. I know I've read out a little bit, but in your own words, what's the heart behind Unbound PR? Because I see a lot of your clips online, where you're speaking to artists about how to brand themselves, how to get themselves out there. What is your heart's desire for these artists, and what do you want to achieve with Unbound?
I think, especially during my time with Vine Juice, we were sent a lot of music and I met a lot of artists, and I was literally always like, there is so much talent in the UK gospel market and beyond, but I was always felt a little bit let down with things like the packaging, with how they were sending music out, how they were branding themselves, the finished product. Sometimes I could hear the talent in the song, but then because the mastering wasn't right and the production wasn't right, and then I'm seeing great artists who I'm like, okay, you've sent us this song and we're playing it, but how come I'm not seeing anything anywhere else? And I'm realizing that artists are just trying their best, doing it all themselves, no knowledge, no education, just hoping for the best. And I just thought, you know what, I really want to be able to give back and use my experience that I've learned and my connections that I've gathered to help people. That's really the heart of it. And then secondly, I was a bit tired of us being stuck in a box. It's great music, but because it's got the word Jesus in it or it's a Christian song, we're only focusing on the Christian media. Whereas for me, Unbound was saying, look, if it's great quality music, we are going to push it out wherever, mainstream, secular, Christian, gospel, whatever. We're going to push it out, and I'm not going to put any boxes on it, because great music is great music. The only difference is the message. One
thing I've noticed is that in the UK, especially in the gospel industry, having a PR agent is not very popular. It's not like in America where every single artist has a PR agent. But I can see that you've come on board. You've got a great list of artists in your camp at the moment. You call them Camp Unbound, if my memory is right. Well, how do you think we can change this perception? Because a lot of artists don't see the need for PR.
I think that hopefully as they start to see other artists reaching levels and getting the exposure that they're trying to fight to get, they'll start to see the benefits. You know how people are. Let me see it first before I eat the cake. Let me see you eat it first. So I'm hoping that, you know, as people start to see that, wow, there is a benefit actually to having somebody sit down and really strategize with you, who will say to you, don't just drop that on Facebook right now. Let's not do that, bro. Who will say to you, you know what? Let's push this over here. Let's go. Let's work out your next 4 songs. Who will say to you, know, I'm gonna go out. You focus on being creative. I'll go out and network and meet people and push your music on your behalf, so you don't have to worry about that. Hopefully, they will see that it's working for the people, and we'll get, and that change will come.
I watched one of your clips and I really enjoyed it. And you said something which I thoroughly agreed with. You said that every now and then artists just drop music. You know, you don't hear from them. You don't see anything on social media. There's no campaign. They go quiet until they're ready to just drop music, and they expect us, the consumers, to, you know, just pick up and follow them and, you know, go after their music. But it doesn't happen like that, because when you're silent, you know, another artist is getting the attention of, you know, your fans and your followers. So let's talk about, you know, being strategic in releasing music. Actually, before I let you speak, if you're listening right now and you know anybody who is in the music industry who wants to get into the music industry, why don't you tell them to log on to ABN Radio right this second, because y'all are going to get some free information right now from Unbound PR.
You keep on saying free.
Well, I guess, I mean, if they listen to the radio show, and she's going to give us some wisdom nuggets, so that bit's going to be free, and then they're going to contact her, and then
by God's grace.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about that. Strategically releasing music.
Well, one of the things that I tell my artists, which may seem a bit harsh, but it's the truth. Nobody cares. It's a fact. No one actually cares. We've got a wealth of music. Nobody begged you to go and give us any more. And so if you're not prepared to make me care, then I'm not going to. So we need to work out, how do we make sure that we get people to buy into you, to see value in with you, to connect with you and relate to you, so that when you do say, well, hey guys, here is a product that I want you to pay attention, they're so involved with you that they're happy. They want to receive it. But just coming out cold, I don't know you, I don't know where you come from, who are you? You're telling me out now, new music, who actually cares? You know? So when I sit down with my artists, we really work out the strategy. I work out who your audience is. I work out who you need to be speaking to, how you can get people on board, what song to release that's going to connect with people. People just write one song. The first time they went in studio, write that one song, and boom, I've dropped it. We don't know whether it's commercially viable. Is the quality right? Is this the song you really want to release with? Is it too early in the season right now? Is this the sound that people are rolling with? Because at the end of the day, you might have been inspired by the Holy Spirit to release it, but there's always a season for something. And the season for that particular song may not be now. You might be releasing on a date where everybody's releasing. You've got 4 or 5 other releases on that date. There's somebody like me that will be able to advise on that and say, leave that date alone. Let's go for a space. So strategy is so important. I just find that artists are just coming and just boom, Facebook, I've released new music, and then they get upset because it's only their Auntie Funke on Uncle Babatunde that orders it, you know.
Oh my goodness. And how important is branding?
Oh my. You know, it's funny because it's almost like we have this conception that when you become a child of God or a Christian, your affection for appealing things diminishes. Whereas I don't know about you, but when something looked nice to me in the world, it still looks nice to me now. If I get a flyer that's shabbily done, instantly it just makes me feel like this isn't good quality. If I get something that looks great, before I've even seen the product, whether I like it or not, there's an instant level of trust that you get. Like when I walk into ABN Studio, straight away, because of how it's presented and the branding, I just instantly feel like this is a quality place to be. If I walked in and the branding was awful and everything was shabby, I'd be like, you could have 100,000 followers. Before I know that, I'm not going to trust you until you give me that. So branding is important, because branding is going to tell your audience who you are before they've even looked at you, tasted you, heard your music. They're going to connect. And if you do it correctly, the right audience that you want will connect with you instantly. And so it's really important to package yourself so well. And I think that people are surprised to hear that, because it's like, well, it's Christian music.
Yeah.
You know, it's Christian music. It's got Jesus in it. People are just going, if I stand in the picture and just look up at the sky, people will just get it.
With some the clouds opening and the doves coming over my head. That would be
and the Bible in
front. That would be the anointing.
That would be it.
Jesus is Lord. Anyway, let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife. Save your life.
It was a well-paying job, respectable, wearing a suit and tie every day. But I drank 24/7. Drank on the way to work, drank at work.
I never could come to terms with admitting that I had an alcohol problem or a pill problem.
I decided to get clean, and so I went to the Narconon program.
Not only did I handle my drug addiction, I completely knew how to live life.
Call Narconon today at 01435 512 460. 01435 512 460.
It's here, the African Gospel Music and Media Awards 2018, celebrating excellence. On the 2nd of June 2018, at East London Arts and Music Main Auditorium, 45 Maltings Close, Bromley by Bow, London, E3 3TA, from 6 p.m, featuring Joe Beto, Diana Hamilton, Isabella, Called Out Music, Shekinah, Dena Mwanga, Afri David, Angel Bernard, Judith Sefuma, Blessing Ali, and Reaper's Choir. For tickets and information, visit AfricanGospelMusicAwards.com or call 07906 932 670. The African Gospel Music and Media Awards 2018, celebrating excellence.
Clap your hands and dance it.
Tune in to the new ABN Breakfast Show from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. The London City Show has evolved into an all-new breakfast show with sizzling slices of juicy newsy current affairs served with junior jumbo-sized convos on issues you should be aware of. What did I just say? The ABN Breakfast Show, the Afropolitan breakfast you can't afford to miss.
This is ABN Radio.
It's really my type of music.
We play your genre of music, from contemporary gospel, high life, hip life, Afropop, and Afrobeats.
Play loads of music.
On London's premier Afropolitan station. You are listening to the Gospel Connect on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan station.
Standing here, not knowing
Now we're here, looking back on where we come from. Because of you and nothing we've done, to deserve the love and mercy you've shown. But your grace was strong enough to pick us up. You made a way when our backs were against the wall, and it looked as if it was over. You made a way, and we're standing here only because you made you made a way.
When our backs were against the wall,
and it looked as if it was over.
you Jesus, you made a way. And we're standing here today.
Only because you made
For your movement, you cause walls to fall with your power. You perform miracles. There is nothing, oh no, that's impossible. And we're standing here only because you made. Say,
you move mountains.
yes, you did, yes, you
You
did.
cause the walls to fall with your power.
Resurrection power, Jesus. Perform miracles. Nothing, no, 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 no.
And we're standing here only because you made.
Standing here.
Only because you
The devil
made.
tried everything, but we're standing here.
Only because you
Then we're
made.
standing here. Only because you, my Jesus, made way. Can I get some horns? Don't know how, but you did it.
Don't know how, but you did it.
Said I don't know how, but you did it. I don't know how,
but you did it.
I was sinking deep in sin, but Jesus,
But you did it.
no money in my pocket, no food on my table.
Don't know how, but you did it.
I don't know.
I call you my way maker, my strong tower. You made a way.
Hey, I call you my way maker, my strong tower. You made a way yesterday. One more before we go. Say, I call you my deliverer, I praise you for me.
His name is Koda, and he did this with his wife Rama, right? A rendition for Travis Green's "Made a Way" great song, interesting one. And this has been saying all along that this is really nice. What stood out for you in that song? It's a song you know, of
It's
course.
a song I know, but I think, sometimes when you hear a remix of a song, you're like, oh, please just leave it alone. Just
don't touch that one.
Yeah, but this one was just such a different take,
Right.
but done so nicely.
Wow.
I really enjoyed
Putting
it.
some high life twist to the whole thing.
So nice.
Yeah, that's Koda, incredible man of God, one of the top producers actually when it comes to West Africa. Great one there. Right, so we're back in the conversation with Adeze, who is the CEO of Unbound PR. All right, lovely to have you join us. And tonight the African Gospel Music Awards is happening, and you will be there, won't you?
Yes. Absolutely. It's not the first time.
What are you looking forward to?
Well, it is the first time that I've ever been. So, and every year it looks great.
Right.
When I get the sort of the feedback and the stuff on social media, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I've really missed out. So this year I said I will not,
You are not
miss
missing
out.
for all the rice in China.
For all the Nigerian jollof, I will not.
We will add Ghana jollof to it.
Because we know that Ghana jollof tastes so much better than
We shall
Nigerian
not
jollof.
go there.
Please don't start that war. Please don't start the war.
I should start that war.
No, don't start the war.
What are
Right.
some of your predictions for tonight? The Agmas.
Ooh.
Are you scared to say it on air?
A little bit. But I'm excited to see, I'll say that I'm excited to see Called Out Music there.
Yeah.
Like, he is such an exciting talent that's coming up right now.
He is.
Definitely one to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, and one of my artists actually has been nominated, Unique Grace, in the European category.
Right.
So, and she's managed to bag a performance. Well, I've managed to bag her a performance on there. So you'll see her perform live as well. So that's going to be good.
Oh, that's amazing.
So many exciting performances that will be happening tonight. So, and the Reaper's Choir will be there with Anu.
Right.
And
Samuel Posso, right?
Samuel Kosu,
Excited to
right
see.
there.
Yes.
Samuel Kosu. There will be Joe.
Joe Metal as well.
Yeah.
A lot of talk about him. And other exciting performances.
Andrew Bello.
Andrew Bello, of course. And then there is this young man called Afri David. He takes the traditional Ghana worship songs and he does something else with it for the youth. So he will be there, and a couple more. Now let's get back to the conversation.
Yes.
I want to find out from you, Adeze, the funding aspect for music, especially for new and upcoming artists. For the established one, maybe some of them would have a record label they work with. I don't even know if there are record labels within the African gospel music scene. I'm not really sure about that. But for very huge acts from the West, they always have record labels that push in the money and then make sure that they have ways of getting that money back. Now, for upcoming artists, for independent artists that you work with, how do they do the funding, or how can they do the funding, and how can they make sure that that money that doesn't just be money that has been thrown upon the face of the waters and they will get it back many days because they need to keep on doing what they are doing.
Yeah. Our industry, particularly the gospel music industry, has got a lot of growing and learning to do here in the UK. But I think that understanding the music industry will help. So I do still see a lot of gospel music artists spend the majority of their money on printing or producing physical copies, whereas, and also whole albums. The day of the albums is sort of gone, and the new stats for 2017 came out, and year on year physical sales are dwindling fast. And so I really advise artists to make sure that their Spotify and Apple Music streaming game is on point. Really making sure that you're pushing your streaming links, because that's direct money. It's not a whole lot of money for the first few thousand, but if you can get that engine moving and people can just easily stream you. So one of the things that I tend to work on a lot is playlist plugin.
Right.
Back in the day, PR would be focusing on radio plugin. But now it's about playlist plugin and trying to get your music on as many playlists as possible so that you can get those streams. I've got an artist under my book now who has reached over 1 million streams in 2 years, and so he's seen some money dropping in his pocket.
Right.
So the two areas to focus on is the streaming and live events. The desire for live events has actually increased because we've lost the physical connection with music.
You're so right.
CD covers and all that. So people want, and streaming can feel so impersonal, and it's so here today, gone tomorrow. So people really do want to connect with your music. So working on making sure that you're getting bookings, but also if you're not getting the bookings, putting on events for yourself. And don't go crazy. Don't say, I'm doing a launch party and it's put in a hall of 500 people. They don't know you. Nobody's coming. Do it intimately. Get a hall with 20, 30 people that you can afford and you can make a little profit. Just be smart. Handle it as a business.
Right.
Do you know, there's something that you keep saying which I really love, and I know it hurts to hear. They don't know you yet. And it's true. And it's the truth, because I guess you have so many artists who have literally just come out and they, in their mind, they think they're, as popular as, the Kirks and the Donnies, and that is their demeanor. So I guess that then their spend, is along those kind of lines. But whereas, as you rightly said, only a couple of people know you, so you need to pay your dues first.
But can I buy into the minds of somebody who may be thinking that people know me, and from my stance as well, maybe as somebody who is now beginning to maybe go commercial with music, sometimes you actually think that maybe you may have served in church all your life, so you started off as a teenager, maybe playing the keyboards or drums or singing, leading praise and worship in church, and your church alone, maybe the combined network of churches that you serve under, you have about 5, 6, 7,000 members of the church. So and they all know your music, they all know you at conventions, at church events, you lead praise and worship. So you think that actually I have people who know me, but then you start putting stuff out there and it's a totally different ball game.
And I advise artists who are in that position to see what they would class as a ready-made audience as the backdrop, the bonus.
Okay.
So go into it like as if you have nobody, even though you have people. So that if they do and when they do, that's almost like bonus, but you're driving and pushing anyway as if they're not there. And even if you think about it, I mean, not everybody has a combined, congregation of 5,000. Some of those are just coming from churches of 100 or 200 or 300.
Right.
But if you do the maths, so they say that only 10% of the people will actually connect.
Yeah.
So that drops that 5,000 to 500. Then those who connect, another 10% will buy. That drops that to 50. So it's only 50 people of your 5,000 that you were targeting that's going to buy.
Right.
So that means that you've got to be reaching millions. You've got to be thinking, how can I go beyond my circle?
Yeah.
If you're going to, and I say this in business full stop, if you're going to build a business based on just your circle, guaranteed it's not going to work.
Absolutely.
You have to build your business based on people beyond. How am I going to reach those people who I don't know, who don't know me in various spheres of life? That needs to be the game. And then if the people close to you jump on, praise the Lord. If you don't, it's cool, because I'm chasing after these other people anyway.
Well, that's some great words there. Yeah, so it's all about strategy.
Yeah, all about strategy. And I think that this is something that the gospel and Christian audience miss, because it is so heartfelt and it's Holy Ghost inspired, and we're doing it for the Lord. The Lord told us to do it, but He didn't tell us to do it and not be wise.
Actually, He said that the children of the world are wiser than the children of light.
Well, we say, I have faith, I will just drop this song, and by faith people will just connect. No,
because you've done, because you've done 7 days fasting before releasing that song, so it should be a hit instantly.
It should instantly be a hit, but the Lord is a smart God, and He wants you to see you using the things that are out there, using the strategies, using the platforms, using PR agents, you see how I did that?
That's true. That's true. Others, let's talk about the legal aspects of all these things. Now you step out there, what kind of knowledge should you be harnessing as far as copyright is concerned, as far as contracts with manager, maybe somebody working with yourself? What sort of legal arrangement should there be? Maybe even with other people using your music, PRS, all those things. What sort of knowledge should people be seeking?
Yeah, definitely people need to be going to Music Union, and there's a whole list of information there that you can get. A lot of Christian artists don't bother with PRS. It's only £100, guys, and all it takes is for BBC Radio 2 do a whole gospel show or Christian show on Sunday mornings. You get played on that, you're going to get paid if you have your PRS set up. Do you know what I mean? And it's not a big deal to get, well, it kind of is, but you can get that. Do you know what I mean? Your local BBC radio station, will likely have a Sunday gospel morning show. If you get your song on there, you're going to get some money if you have your PRS set up. And the other thing to recognize as well is that for Christian music, there's a little bit of limitation. We have something called CCL. I've completely forgotten what it stands for. CLI. Which means that you will only get paid if your music is played, if it's done in a religious setting, but if it's projected, it's almost worship music. Or whatever.
So you should, with that, your music should be such that it's used a lot in church.
Right. So what I always advise Christian artists, particularly those who are doing more R&B, hip hop, whatever, is to also do some worship stuff.
Okay.
Do some worship stuff so that we can meet that target and get some money in, and do things like, so with Zion, what we did is he did his live recording, had a full-on worship set in the middle of it. And we had that filmed. We break those down into 4 or 5 worship separate YouTube videos, bang that on YouTube with the lyrics, share that out to worship leaders, share it specifically targeting churches and say, hey, add this to your worship repertoire. There you go, you're in the churches, you get your money.
Is it sinful to think profits?
Is it more sinful to think wasteful behavior with money? Because going into studio and spending thousands of money and having no plan on how to recoup it and make a profit is a sin. I think it's I mean, the Bible talks about it with the talents. You go in and you waste that money and dig it and not use it properly. It's a sin. It's wrong. So we have to be smart with the money and the resources that God has given us. And if we're going to do this and we're not looking to be an example to the world and make some profit, we just look like foolish people.
You know what? Let's go for a quick break.
Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife, save your life.
Tune in to the new ABN Breakfast Show from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. The London City Show has evolved into an all-new breakfast show with sizzling slices of juicy newsy current affairs served with junior jumbo-sized convos on issues you should be aware of. What did I just say? The ABN Breakfast Show, the Afropolitan breakfast you can't afford to miss. Mixpiration with Bright every Sunday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. is just fun. It's exciting. It's a mix of contemporary R&B and pop gospel music right here on ABN Radio. Enjoy great tunes every Sunday evening with Bright on Mixpiration, a blend of great inspiring songs just for your Sunday evening relaxation. Tune in from 6 to 8 p.m. this and every Sunday. They're on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Hi, this is Rodney Hines. And I'm Michael. Join us on the Voice of Sports show each and every Saturday on ABN Radio. We'll keep you bang up to date with all the latest football scores and we'll discuss all the big talking points in the world of sport. So don't forget, join us this Saturday, 4 till 6 on ABN Radio UK.
ABN Radio.
London!
London's Afropolitan radio station. You are listening to the Gospel Connect on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan station.
Bless your name. Strength, just by the Holy Ghost. I'm not ashamed to tell the world a blessing that comes from God. God is a blessing. God is a blessing. Who would it bless? God is a blessing. God is a blessing. Fly, the cars I drive, the money I have. God is a blessing. The food on my table, the houses I build, the family I got. God is a blessing. It's not by might, it's not by power, just by the Holy Ghost. God is a blessing. I'm not ashamed to tell the world my blessings that come from God.
He's now Herman Cyrus Music, Mr. Kwesi Ten, the God bless dude, playing right here on Gospel Connect, London's Afropolitan radio station, ABN Radio. Our guest in the studio this morning for Gospel Connect has been Adeze of Unbound PR, and we've had some really, really insightful conversation.
Oh, yes, we have. Very insightful, very educative. And if you are an artist or an aspiring musician, I'm sure that you've been blessed by the wisdom nuggets that she's dropped. I think one of the things which I didn't know about, which you said, was the whole PRS thing.
Yeah.
And how, by the artist, signing up to that, paying that nominal subscription, they could possibly get their music on the Christian shows of BBC. And also the strategy of, even if you're an R&B gospel artist or a hip-hop gospel artist, at least snipping in like a worship tune to ensure that, but I'm sure a lot of artists don't know this.
No. But that's why I try and do the videos and stuff to help artists out as much as possible.
Yeah. So I want to talk about something else that you do. You run a ministry. Let's call it a ministry.
Yeah.
It's a marriage platform called Marriage for Real.
Yeah.
When did you start that? Why did you start that? What's the heart behind it? What are you trying to do?
It kind of started by accident. The Lord does that to you. I had a conversation in church with a group of young girls. I'm saying young, they were like 27, 28, 30, and they were all sat around me, and they were like, I always asked them about who you're dating, what's going on, who's getting married, and they were all like, oh, I'm talking to this guy, I've been talking to him for years, what's going on, I don't know. Oh, I've been talking to this, but what's going on, I don't know. It's like, hey, all these years you're talking, you don't know, this person is stealing your life. Yeah. And so I the next day I was in the office, and it was bugging me. So I just picked up my phone, I did a quick YouTube video, and the video was called Don't Let a Man Steal Your Years. Within a few days that video had hit over 100,000 views. Before I knew it, I had a load of people messaging me for more videos and different things. So I started to do that, and one of the other videos that I did was I shared with people about my marriage and the infidelity that happened, and how we got past it and what happened, because the other thing that I'm really passionate about is to let people know that major things can happen in your marriage, but it doesn't have to mean the end. And I'm seeing people divorcing and splitting up because of things that have happened, and I'm like, this doesn't have to be the end, because this happened in my marriage, and we have the best, like my marriage is the biggest blessing that I have. And so I wanted to share. I realized that when I was going through my issues in my marriage, I was like, I didn't know who to go to, because everybody is so secretive. Nobody wants to show that they're having issues in the marriage, so then you're just there alone. And I'm like, I knew that God has always he told me years ago, he's called me to a place of transparency, and I didn't know why, but I just felt like there was no shame attached to this. In fact, I saw it as a way to glorify God and a way to encourage people. So I just sit and talk, and I am just open and honest about the real deal about marriage, and I get people to open up and remove the shame, and let's just share and encourage each other. And that's the whole point of it, really.
Wow.
I want people to have amazingly beautiful, passionate marriages, not just, I'm married, this is my husband.
Just existing.
There's a lot of cover-up.
So much cover-up, but it's shame and it's fear, which we're not supposed to be experiencing. If I'd gone through HIV and God had healed me, I would be shouting from the rooftop. My marriage had HIV, God healed it. I'm shouting from the rooftop.
I think, sometimes I think about it, and I have a feeling that because we want to be all Christian in the marriage, when somebody is real, when the other one partner is real, the other feels that you as a Christian, you've allowed, maybe, let's say, whatever struggles that you may have that is unknown to the church setting, because you are all nice faced and Holy Ghost filled on Sunday morning. When your partner, who is meant to be the person who knows you inside out, gets to know, the person goes like, oh, okay, and you are supposed to be a Christian. Why have you been overtaken by this, or why are you dabbling in this? So you can't even be real to the person who you're supposed to be real to.
Well, I think that's why my husband is such a blessing, because when we started this, we spoke and he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud, not of what he did, but of how we've come out of it. And if I don't do a video in a week, he's like, babe, have you done a video? Like, and it's so funny, he'll go to school and he'll help me drop off the kids sometimes, and he'll be like, wow, some of the women were looking at me like, you did this. But you know, he's so blessed by it, because he also sees the men and the women that come to us and like, oh my God, thank you so much for sharing this story and giving us hope. So I think it's a blessing that actually the shame has been removed from both of us, and we both feel free to share this story. Although I'm the one with the mouth, he's the one, he's the guy at the back that's like, go on, you do it.
No, that is awesome. No, that's absolutely incredible, because we need to hear the testimonies of people who have overcome. Yes, it is, and it inspires and encourages people, you know, to realize that, you know, what's happening in my situation is such as is common, and I can get through it. Because sometimes when you hear the testimony of others, it does fire you up and give you that strength and that tenacity to just push and forge through. So that is incredible. We have been speaking with the lovely Daisy. Unbound PR, she also has a marriage platform, Marriage for You. Daisy, well, the show is coming to an end, but we need to find out some more information about you. If anyone's listening and is an aspiring artist, musician, author, public personality, and just wants, you know, some PR guidance and wants somebody to handle their PR, how can we get in touch with you?
Well, a great place to start is to follow me on Instagram. It's Unbound PR Agency. Just follow me there and send me a message. And you can also email me info@unboundpr.co.uk. I do have a couple of Spotify playlists for urban artists and Afrobeat artists, and you can submit your music as well to info@unboundpr.co.uk.
Okay, and in terms of if an artist, obviously you handle the PR for artists. Do you also, let's say somebody wants to be an artist, hasn't got a record deal, you know, doesn't know how to go about things, do you give guidance to that, or is it only established artists?
No, I run a mentoring program where you get 2 hours a month with me, and we're really like, I don't mess about with you, we're like on it, like I'm really talking to you and supporting you through your career. So you can sign up with me on that. Again, you can email info@unboundpr.co.uk. And I have to just say as well that for people looking for PR, I can't take on everybody, but if you send your music and I feel like it's something that I can work with, then we can talk. I don't want to just take people's music and then, money, and then not feel like I can do something with it. So
the music has to be right.
It has to be right, and I'm not just gonna pretend and be like, yeah, pay me, and then be like, well, I can't really do anything with it. I will tell you straight, I can't work with it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's true. I remember. Let me share just a quick thing. There is an artist that I wanted to help work with, especially manage social media and out do some promotional stuff for. So I listened to her music. It was okay. It's been quite. She has some good songs that she's written quite well, but the mastering was awful.
Right.
Yeah. It was. Right. It was absolutely awful. Right. At the point, a master track. Some of the track you can even hear her going off. So I told her that the truth is that you would have to pack this by the side. Right. You need to re-record this whole thing again. Re-record it, or if you don't have the budget to do it now, do a single or two or an EP or something, and let's use it as a starting point to start this off, and then we get it out there. And so I did that, and she decided she didn't like it. She didn't like it, so she went off with some promoter in Ghana who said, "Listen, I can make you a star. I can put you here." That. And I heard she paid some crazy amounts of money to the guy, and I would be there, and I would be seen on social newspapers, and they'll be writing all these things. Oh, UK artists, and I'll just be laughing in my head. Yeah. But ask me where it went to. She spent all that money, and it came back to ground zero because the product is not right. And she refused to listen.
It starts with the product.
She refused to listen, and you know, she spends huge, and I'm talking huge amounts of money. And whoever took this money,
I refuse to do that.
Yeah. So people, another thing you should be mindful of as an upcoming musician is that it's not everyone who says that I can make you whatever. It's not everyone that can can deliver. And some of them are just there for the money. They just want to take your money. It's not everyone that has that interest of you at heart. And it's not everyone who might also probably be Christian at it.
And take advice. If somebody's saying this doesn't sound right, this is something you're going to put out. And first impressions matter. If I hear a track from you and I can hear the mastering is off and it's awful, the second time you come out with a new song, I'm not going to listen to it because I'll be like, I don't rate this artist. So
but that's
about it for today's show. We've had a wonderful time.
We are off to AGMA. Off to Africa.
Yes, we are.
Was this evening. So catch us there. If you have got your ticket already, we will see you. Akosua Jumafoko will be on the red carpet. I just let the cat out of the bag. So it's the East London Arts and Music main auditorium, 45 Maltons Close, Bromley by Bow, London, E3 3TA. You heard Uncle Charles. There will be some unlimited parking spaces. The nearest tube station is the Bromley by Bow tube station. Just come and bring along a heart of worship as well, because it's not just an award night. We'll be giving God the glory, and then we'll also be honoring the Lord and honoring the gifts that He's blessed us with. Others say, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being part of today's show. It's been a wonderful time, and we are going to have that girls takeover.
Let's do it.
Girls takeover, right on the wings of that. This is Great Are You, Lord. We'll sign off with this one. God bless you. Be at church tomorrow, and don't forget the last day for Integrity Conference is tomorrow with Reverend Eastwood and about speaking. God bless you. We are out. Hear Me Out show is up next.
Afropolitan radio station. More news, more information. This is ABN News.